Faced with the rapid proliferation and cunning intelligence of these ferocious beasts, Germany's fields are enduring a devastating onslaught. Farmlands lie in ruins, soil is ravaged, and the safety of people and livestock is gravely threatened. The hunters are ready to step in, determined to halt this catastrophe. Will they succeed in protecting this land? Follow the gripping moments below and pick out the most impressive hunt. A breathless hunt is unfolding across the fields of Germany. The marksmen arrived early, surrounding the entire field. Not long after, at Jack's position, a wild boar suddenly charged across his line of sight. Instantly, a gunshot rang out, halting the beast's advance just in time. A perfect shot, precise to the second, leaving no chance for further destruction. The battle has officially begun. At the edge of the field, a marksman in an ambush position suddenly spotted a herd of wild boars leisurely foraging. Without hesitation, he opened fire. Each bullet fired brought down only 2 boars, while the rest managed to flee in time. Determined not to let them escape easily, he relayed their position to his team, paving the way for a fierce sweep about to unfold. Just minutes later, on Kevin's side, he swiftly intercepted a wild boar attempting to escape. The moment it burst out of the thicket, he locked onto the target and pulled the trigger. With just a single shot, he completely halted the boar's attempt to flee. Another threat was neutralized swiftly. Continuing to track the remaining traces, the sudden barking of hunting dogs signaled the beast's location. Jack and his team swiftly closed in, encircling the rice field. Venturing deeper toward the source of the sound, a wild boar abruptly charged out, attempting to escape. But Jack didn't let that happen. A shot rang out instantly, extinguishing all its hopes. The beast collapsed, no longer able to wreak havoc, restoring the field's rightful tranquility. An ambush in the forest between Kevin and the cunning beast officially began. Less than 10 minutes after settling into his hiding spot, the silhouette of a wild boar swiftly appeared in his line of sight. Without a moment's hesitation, a shot rang out the instant the beast emerged. Now, only the fallen animal lay on the grass, a clean end to a dangerous threat. At the same moment, another marksman lay in ambush, poised and ready for the prey to appear. The instant the target came into view, she pulled the trigger. A decisive shot rang out, and the beast collapsed onto the cold ground. Another threat was eliminated, successfully halting the destruction caused by these ferocious creatures on this land. Each shot fired today not only brought down the beasts, but also helped protect crops, preserve the land, and gradually restore the agricultural economy.
Drop them.
Wild boars are cunning and highly resourceful creatures. They react lightning fast to danger, leaving no room for even seasoned hunters to let their guard down. Every step must be precise, as a single misstep could come at an immediate cost. Heart-pounding ambushes, thrilling chases, and startling, pulse-racing moments are about to unfold. Join us to witness these vivid scenes. A fierce battle is unfolding right in the middle of the field under the command of Kevin's hunting team. Seasoned marksmen have taken their positions, eyes locked on every movement across the field. Suddenly, from the edge of the field, a herd of wild boars charges out in formation. Unaware of the rifle barrels waiting ahead, they're caught off guard. Then a barrage of gunfire echoes across the field, swiftly dropping several boars, their bodies scattered. The rest flee in panic, but the real pursuit is just beginning. Kevin and his teammates received a signal and immediately used the locator to determine the direction in which the beasts were fleeing. Following the trail, they discovered two wild boars hiding in the dense underbrush. Gripping his rifle tightly and aiming precisely, Kevin swiftly pulled the trigger. The bullet struck the beast's body, leaving it no chance to resist. In the moment it took to reload, the other boar managed to escape. At another corner of the field, a sniper on guard was intently watching every movement ahead. The barking of the hunting dogs signaled that the target had appeared. He quickly assumed a ready stance. As soon as the wild boar charged out, a gunshot rang out, cutting off its escape route. Approaching the check, he was caught off guard when the beast suddenly sprang up and bolted. Acting on instinct, he immediately pulled the trigger. It was a swift, precise maneuver, one that only seasoned hunters with nerves of steel could execute. Deep in the forest, the intensity was no less fierce, with ambushes unfolding in dramatic fashion. Another team of hunters had arrived early, tightening their encirclement around the woods. After 10 minutes of vigilant observation, James spotted a wild boar leisurely foraging among the trees. Without a moment's hesitation, a decisive gunshot rang out as soon as the boar's body came to clear view. The boar collapsed instantly, unaware of the obstruction. At the same time, in another part of the forest, Jay swiftly took down more boars. While observing the dense cluster of trees, a flurry of dark shapes suddenly darted past. Without delay, rapid gunshots echoed, and any chance of their escape. In mere seconds, only the bodies of 3 wild boars remained on the least field. The threat was swiftly and cleanly neutralized. On the forest's edge, another marksman added to the team's tally. With a single, precise shot, he ended the beast's escape in his sights. As snow begins to fall, herds of wild boars venture out to forage, desperate to survive the harsh winter. It's at this moment they turn more ferocious than ever, ravaging crops and tearing up the land of local farmers. Hunters immediately set out, determined to halt their destruction. Coming up next are breathtaking pursuit scenes and gripping ambushes that will keep you glued to the screen. Join us to watch and pick the most unforgettable hunt. Early in the morning, John's hunting team swiftly gathered and drove their familiar vehicle up to the dense hillsides of Tajikistan. Upon arrival, the team quickly spread out to track down the wild boars. Within 5 minutes, through binoculars, a marksman spotted a herd of boars weaving through the thick bushes. Without hesitation, he locked onto the largest, fattest one in the group and pulled the trigger. The shot rang out, and the boar collapsed, tumbling down the hillside by momentum. The first precise shot echoed, signaling the start of the battle. Continuing the search for other targets, he strained his eyes to scan the opposite hillside. A lone wild boar trudged into view. Seizing the moment before it could disappear from sight, a gunshot rang out. The beast swiftly collapsed onto the dry grass. A precise shot, eliminating yet another potential threat. At another position, through binoculars, a marksman intently tracked every movement on the opposite hillside. There was a wild boar nearly blending into the dry branches. Choosing the optimal position and angle, he pulled the trigger. With just a single shot, the boar, unaware of what hit it, lay still among the dry bushes. Another threat was swiftly neutralized, restoring peace to yet another patch of land. At the same time, in the frigid, snow-covered mountains, another team of hunters had taken up positions surrounding the area. Leon and his teammates were on a trail, tracking signs of the wild boars. Suddenly, in the distance, the silhouettes of boars emerged, heading back to their lair. Two marksmen immediately took position, raising their rifles and waiting for the herd to appear. In less than a minute, the lead boar came into view, and a barrage of gunfire echoed through the forest. The lead boar collapsed onto the snow, while the rest scattered in panic. Determined not to let them escape, the hunters swiftly pursued, taking down a few more before the others vanished completely. A perfect ambush was unfolding at the edge of the forest. Through binoculars, the marksman was intently scanning when a wild boar suddenly darted across. Without hesitation, he pulled the trigger. The first shot struck the hind leg, instantly halting the beast. Despite its desperate attempt to flee, A rapid barrage of follow-up shots swiftly ended any hope of escape. At another position, through his scope, Leon spotted yet another wild boar hiding in the dense bushes on the opposite hillside. Without delay, a gunshot rang out, putting an end to the beast's final attempt to conceal itself. The threat was handled swiftly and precisely, leaving no room for error.
Fertile fields are mercilessly ravaged by ferocious wild boars, wiping out millions of dollars in a single night. Unable to stand idly by, the hunters set out, tracking the beasts to their very lairs. Do they have what it takes to extinguish this threat? Coming up next are breathtaking confrontations and tense ambushes that will keep you glued to the screen. Watch until the end to pick the moment that impresses you the most. On a hillside blanketed with dense brush, a hunting team swiftly deployed their formation, surrounding the area. A sharpshooter at a choke point suddenly spotted the silhouette of a wild boar emerging from the tree cover. Without a moment's hesitation, a series of shots rang out. The precise, decisive shot not only took down the prey, but also set the stage for the thrilling battle ahead. On the western slope of the hill, Nick was scanning the opposite ridge through his scope. In less than 5 minutes, a wild boar appeared, slinking through thick grass to find its way back to cover. Nick chose a favorable angle and pulled the trigger. The beast collapsed into the grass, unable to escape. A perfectly executed shot, swiftly eliminating the lurking threat in the area. An unexpected close-quarters ambush was unfolding in another corner of the hillside. A hunter was tracking the faint traces left by the beast. Suddenly, a wild boar, concealed beneath dense bushes, came into the crosshairs. Without hesitation, rapid shots rang out, giving it no chance to react. The beast collapsed right where it thought it was safest. Moments later, gunfire echoed from all directions, signaling the elimination of more threats, restoring peace to the area. In the dense thickets of Hungary, John's team arrived to halt the rampage of the destructive beasts. Upon reaching the area, the hunters quickly spread out, tracking the faint traces left behind. Not long after, a group of wild boars, leisurely foraging, was completely unaware they had entered the crosshairs. Waiting for the perfect moment, he pulled the trigger. Two boars were taken down in an instant, while one narrowly escaped. Determined not to let it get away, he quickly identified its escape route and signaled his teammates.
Wild boars, with their staggering reproduction rate and formidable cunning, have become a threat to communities and the agricultural economy. They devastate crops and tear up the land, making control increasingly difficult. Hunters must act to restore the balance between nature and humanity. Do they have the grit to succeed? Follow along with the thrilling footage coming up, and don't forget to watch until the end to pick the hunt that impresses you the most. Kicking off today's battle is a thrilling night hunt in the Texas fields, recently ravaged by hordes of beasts. By 6 p.m., Kevin's team is in position, tracking traces left behind and spreading out to ambush the entire field. Soon after, through infrared binoculars, a herd of boars is spotted grazing, unaware they're in the crosshairs. A hunter swiftly locks onto the largest boar and pulls the trigger. The boar collapses, the rest scatter in panic, but the next shots quickly snuff out any hope of escape. The battle has officially begun. On the neighboring field, another herd of wild boars is starting to wreak havoc. Naturally, they can't escape Kevin's sights. He quickly selects the best position and angle for the shot. Gunshots ring out rapidly, taking down each boar before they can bolt into the forest. Every shot is clean and decisive, true to Kevin's resolve to leave no boar with a chance to cause destruction for another night. On the eastern side of the field, ambush points were quickly set up. Cold, precise gunshots echo through the night, each wild boar dropping on the spot. Every corner of the field is methodically cleared, leaving no threat behind. This land is temporarily restored to peace, easing the fears of the locals to some extent. At the same time, another hunting team swiftly sets up ambushes throughout a forest in France. At the checkpoint, James keeps his eyes sharp, maintaining a ready stance for any movement. Suddenly, a wild boar leisurely wanders into his sights. Instantly, a gunshot rings out, and the beast collapses onto the grass, unaware it was being watched. One threat is dealt with cleanly and decisively. A precise shot is swiftly executed on the eastern side of the forest. Turning around, the hunter immediately spots a panicked wild boar darting across. In less than a second, a bullet flies, halting its escape. With just one shot, the beast collapses onto the cold ground. Continuing to follow the remaining tracks, the sudden barking of hunting dogs signals the target's location. James quickly moves toward the sound. There it is, a wild boar's silhouette peeking from behind dense trees. As soon as its body comes into view, a decisive gunshot rings out. The beast collapses on the spot, another threat eliminated swiftly and flawlessly. Hunting wild boars not only tightens control over these monstrous creatures, but also restores balance between nature and humanity.